All right, everybody, today we're going to be doing these bad boys. I'm going to do the rims and the castings. Just help the neighbor haul some hay, so it's a little later in the day, and it's hot and muggy out, so a little tired, but, you know, it wasn't a big deal. Also, this thing can pull a 4-bottom plow, and it has very little issue. Just got to get a cylinder stop so that I can stay in the same spot, because when you bury it all the way, it wanted to bog down quite a bit, but when you put it in all the way into the ground, about 8 inches, it just barked. It got louder, so I'm suspecting there's might be a power pack in there or something. I'm not sure though. But the head's been off and baked, so because it's completely different color than the rest of the engine. So I think someone's been in there doing stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put a Super M piston set in there. So that'd be pretty neat, actually. But also, since last time I worked on the tractor, I got 2 of these from my cousin, so I can get the correct lights on there. This one needs a little body work, and they both needed new lenses, so I have 2 pieces of glass I got to clean, but I need 12 volt bulbs and then some seals, and then should be ready to, I don't know if I'm going to sandblast them or what, but get that figured out. Here's the 2 glass lenses. So they're not perfect. They got little dings. There's some seal, part of the seal I need to get off there, but this one's pretty dirty and has some rust buildup. There's a little crack in it, but it's not the end of the world. But those are sitting on my operator's manual. But so, I got a cotter pin set from Harbor Freight for like $5 because we're running low, so that's pretty cool. And then just my pliers, my hand, like screwdriver and hand tools, and my ratchets and torque wrench. My big ratchet didn't fit in here, so that's in the other drawers. Here's my sockets. I need to get some to fill here, but I don't use a lot of metric, so they just kind of sit here the whole time. And then there's my big ratchet, my breaker bar, my impact, my stuff. Those wrenches they're metric, so I don't use them, but when I need them, they come in handy. They're just cheapos, but they're ratcheting, so that's kind of cool. And then I need to fill up the rest. This is just some miscellaneous stuff, and there's nothing in that one, so. But all right, let's get to work. I gotta get the tractor jacked up. Oh. That should work. It is. I can't tell if it's humid or just hot outside. Usually you could tell. It doesn't feel humid, but I'm sweating my butt off out here. I think it's just hot, and there's a little breeze, but it's not very cooling. But I probably should take it out of gear, or take it in gear so it doesn't roll away, huh? That would be helpful. Those tires are a little low too. I wouldn't mind putting some air in them while I got them up in the air here. That one should spin now. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna take the weights off first because I think I put the weights on wrong anyways. I think there's a bolt through there, and I think the nut is supposed to be on the outside, not the bolt head. Let's see, are you gonna be 3/4 or 13/16? Gonna be 13/16. So I'm just using the old battery impacts today because I'm not gonna drag the air cord out here. It's the only thing. I wish our air cord was easier to bring out of the shed, but come on. Doesn't have enough oomph. Man, that's the first time this thing's let me down. Well, I guess I am getting the air cord out here. Be right back. Actually, before I give up on this thing, I'm going to try a shorter socket to get more torque delivered to it. Oh, my vice grip fell off. Huh. Let's try tightening it a little bit. Oh, there we go. Tightener tight and loosey worked a little bit. There you go. Yeah, those aren't the cleanest threads. But that's kind of a little surprised that my impact did take it off. I mean, it's not a big impact, it's a little compact thing, but all right. I'm gonna try something different with this video. I'm gonna show more of the taking it apart, just because I've been watching some other farmer YouTube videos and they show more of the meat and potatoes of doing stuff, and I thought it would be more interesting. See that not everything's sunshine and rainbows. Oh yeah, that little socket really helps a lot. But yeah, the videos I've been watching where the guy shows a lot of the process and not just he shows very little of the field work actually. Southern Maryland dirt farmer, he's a funny guy. He farms with John Deere though, so you know, dock some points there, but I'm just kidding. Old John Deere's work just fine. I just prefer internationals. Man, that's really stuck. I might have to resort to the M18. And we're almost out of WD-40, so I'm going to resort to the M18. This was Richie's before he passed. And this thing's a beast. Okay, why is it just spinning in there? Oh, that fell off, that's why. Well, if I would have used my eyes, I would have seen that. We had one sitting right inside the shop door. So hopefully that will add a little slippage to those threads. I just put these on like not that long ago too, so. Is it coming? Oh, that's all it needed was to not be violently shook, I guess. Man, it's hot out here. There we go. And these things are about, I think they're 45 pounds or something, 50 pounds, I don't know. They're not, if you can curl them, they're not too crazy. But yeah, see how there's really no color on those anymore. And if you're wondering where I got the weights from, I mentioned in one of the first videos on my M that they're $700 pair of weights. I don't know what they're actually cost. I looked them up on eBay and there was a listing for $700. So I just said that. I didn't buy them. They were in the corner of Richie's shed underneath his threshing machine. So, you know, they're his. I think he bought them. I don't think he bought them. I think he got them on they came with the Farmall 350. And he took them off because he didn't need them on there. But I thought it was a shame for them to go to waste. So I put them on my M. I don't need them on here. But I did notice, well, actually, I won't say I don't need them. I said that they're not completely 100% necessary, but when you're working plowed ground, your wheels slide across when you're turning sharp a lot less with these than when you have just no weights. The tires bite better. It's actually, I think it turns easier. I don't know why, but it feels like it turns a little easier with them on. I know that doesn't make any sense, and technically it's supposed to turn harder with them on, but I don't know, it makes them seem like they bite better and want to go where you want them to more. I can tell you one thing though, I may not be, oh, I'm doing the wrong one. I may not be super smart, like that example, I was doing the wrong one, but I never used AI on a single freaking paper in school, so like everybody else in my grade did. So I actually did all the work myself. Probably stupid of me because I'm never going to use all that crap, but at least I did it. So I can say one thing, I'm smarter than those people, I guess. Using a stupid robot to do their homework for them. I hate AI. Big anti-AI guy here, so And it's not just because I don't use it, it's just makes people's brains mushy, tells them what to think, and then they start thinking stuff that the people that own the AI want them to think. And then sooner or later, the people that use an AI don't have independent thoughts, and then we're in a world where no one thinks for themselves. And that's not really a good thing, especially if you want to do a job like farming where you got to think outside the box a lot to fix stuff. But what do I know? I'm just a dumb farmer. There we go. Got it. Just got to wedge the vice grip in there. All right, last one. All right, now I'm gonna try to get this rim off. What size are you gonna be? You're probably gonna be 15/16 or something. Let's see. 15/16. Yep. I like impact sockets. I use them for everything. Those are on that tight. Now you gotta tighten those up. Torque wrench. When I'm putting them back on, if they even have a torque spec. These hardware is pretty good. Yeah, I think I put these on new when I got the tractor. They're not, or I put new hardware on the rims when I got the tractor. So, yeah, I got a pretty bad leak. The front bolster housing here, or where the spindle goes in, and I'm not gonna fix it because I'm lazy. And it's a working tractor. If it leaks, that means it has it. So, I guess I might replace this tire. It's Uniroyal, whatever brand that is. Probably made in China. Oh no, made in USA. Probably an old tire. Probably 30-year-old tire. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay, that wasn't terrible actually. As you can see, this one's pretty weather checked. It's not what you want to see. I mean, a lot of our tires are like that, but I don't want like see that on a steering tire. But I'll get that out of the way here. Oh, I'm glad to see my oil pan leaks more than I thought it did. It's already over the new paint. Awesome. What you love to see, right? Okay. Alright, I got it jacked up pretty good. Gotta use impact. Stupid jack stands in the way. Alright, I got the wheels off. Now I'm gonna grind that down.
Success of present-day agriculture has resulted from the improvement of livestock, the continuous development of better methods of handling crops, and building and conserving the fertility of our soil. Much of the progress has been made possible by new developments in harvesting machinery. Machines that do the work better or reduce the number of men needed to harvest the crop. Now, farming is made easier and more profitable with one man harvesting. Good harvests start with good soil. And if we're to continue to have plentiful harvests, we must return organic matter and fertilizer to that soil. The new fluid manure spreader provides a more effective way of applying manure, that soil-building byproduct of livestock. What is meant by fluid manure? Strange as it may seem, 1,600 pounds of every ton of manure is liquid, and this part, which is generally lost, contains half of all the nitrogen in the manure and 80% of all the potash. So to get the full benefit from manure, the liquid too should be spread on the field. The tightly sealed bed of this spreader holds everything but the smell. When the spreader is not in use, a sump hole can be opened to drain off.
Alright, I got all the old paint and dirt and stuff ground off all this stuff. I know this isn't the right way to do it, but I think I'm going to spray paint it all with the enamel because there's a lot of tight spaces in there. And I just don't want to mess around with the brush today. And then the enamel's held on pretty good. It actually is the stuff on the rear end where I step on is actually flaking off less than the stuff I brush on. So I'm just going to, I mean, you don't barely see in there anyways. Besides, it leaves a better finish on smoother stuff like the weights. Even though they're cast, they're pretty smooth. But I think I'm just going to prime it up now. And then Grandpa's getting ready to go bale, so I'm going to help with that. So
water from rain or snow. Flared side panels reduce the labor of loading and add to the capacity of the bed. The reinforced bottom is strong enough for loading from a litter carrier of any height. The fluid manure can be spread handily every day, or when necessary, the tight bed will hold all the valuable soil-building fluid until the spreader is full. The fluid manure should be taken directly to the field before vital elements deteriorate.
we're baling hay, so while my paint dries, I'm going to go haul bales for Grandpa.
Spreader is a well-balanced machine that relieves weight on the drawbar, permitting safe operation at tractor speeds. It's easy to handle in the yard, on the road, or in the field. A close inspection shows there is no dropping or dripping from the bed.
My mic died here, so I'm just going to do a voiceover for the rest of the video. I got the rims all painted up, and they look pretty good. They're a little rougher than the rear rims. I don't know what was going on there, but it's okay. And then I got the rest of this all painted up here. It's pretty dry now at this point, so I'm going to try my best to mount the tires soon. But that side's a little tacky, so I let it dry for a little longer. But yeah, the weights are pretty dry already, so. All right, now I'm mounting the tire. The tire was a little trickier to get on, putting it on than taking it off. This side was pretty easy. I don't know why this one went on easier than the other one, but it went on pretty quick. It did scuff up the paint a little bit, so I had to touch it up at the end, but I think it looked pretty good. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. Just had to line up the holes. Here I got all the spaces between the casting and the rim all even so that it won't wobble going down the road. And I got those all tightened up now. I don't know why, but it took me like 10 minutes to figure out how to put this on again. I don't know why it was so much different than the other side. It had caused me a lot of issues, and the paint scuffed pretty bad, so I had to touch it up near the end, but it went on, and it's all on the tractor now, so it worked out. This one is also a pain to bolt up. I don't know if it's because the wheel bearing on this side is a lot looser and it spins more free, but it didn't want to line up, but I eventually got it by just lining up the holes and stuff, so it took a while, but I got it. It was fighting me the whole way. In this part, I was looking in my manual for the torque spec on those bolts, And you could see I was frustrated because it didn't have one, so I had to look it up. And I was going to set it to 60 foot-pounds, and then I changed my mind and set it to 70. Here's me torquing the bolts down. Nothing fancy happened here. I was just being careful not to overdo it and make them all even. And they click pretty good, so that one just clicked. I think the torque spec on these things is whatever the farmer says, I guess, because it wasn't in my book. So I just put, I think I actually put 70 to, I think it was either 70 or 75 foot-pounds, but it was right in the careful range of what they put online, because I don't want to snap off a bolt or something, because that's new hardware, but I don't think it would have, but you never know. So I was just playing it safe here. They don't need to be super tight anyways, because, you know, they should be able to have friction on each other from the wheel spinning, so they should kind of lock in place anyways. So this side was pretty easy too. That torque wrench is a Harbor Freight torque wrench. It's just a $150 icon. It's actually pretty nice. When I do use it, it works really good, but I don't use it that often. I just use it for lug nuts and stuff usually. But yeah, it went pretty easy. Here's me putting the weights on. They went on pretty easy. They were a little unpainted on the edges, so I did touch those up too. So if you notice that in the video, you really can't. They look good on video, but I'm a perfectionist, so well, not really on this tractor, but they bugged me how unpainted they were in some spots, so I painted them up. But yeah, this is as simple as just mounting the weights and the weight hardware.
In the field, the manure is finely shredded by the beaters and the high-speed action of the widespread spiral. The beater teeth are U-shaped, tapered, and staggered so there are no open spaces. Distribution is accurate and even. With this machine, you can spread manure as thin as you like, because 5 apron speeds give you a wide choice of the amounts per acre. In a program of balanced farming,
this part was just me recording an outro for the progress for today, but I think it turned out pretty good. I think it makes the tractor look almost completely different just from those rims and tires, or the rims and the castings in the front and the back being different, which, you know, the tractor tires, the tires are kind of big, so I guess it makes sense. But this is just a outro I filmed, so thank you guys for watching, and leave a comment. I like hearing from you guys, so yeah, thank you. See you later.